All right, so for this next step, we're gonna do some shading and some shadows. So the first thing we're going to do is let's do the shadow first. So to do that, Command and click on the mask here of the tiger. Actually, let's name these layers. This guy, tiger. Let's call this haze and surges Eiffel Tower, because it's his. All right, so go back up here. Actually, you can put it right above this. So create a new layer, and we're going to fill it with, I already have it selected, but I'm going to show you how I do this. Hit the eyedropper tool. I try to take a color that's in the sort of shaded part of where I'm going to put the shadow. So the shadow I'm going to have out here. So I eyedropper here. All right, I still have this selected, and I fill. So edit, menu, fill, or shift F5, and content, foreground color, hit OK. All right, you don't see it because it's behind the tiger, but it's there. All right, I can go ahead and deselect now, so Command D or right here, and put this on multiply. All right, multiply darkens. All right, it merges the pixels from what's below and what's above and darkens. All right, so now we're going to do a free transform once again. So Command T or edit menu, transform. And I'm going to have to zoom out. So Command Alt minus. PC it's Control Alt or Control Option. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I flip it upside down, and I actually want to move this. So I'm going to skew this. So the command for that is on a Mac is Command. While you drag it, hold on the Command key or the Apple key, and on PC it is Control. All right, and then I want to add perspective. So instead of doing the middle one, I take the corner one, still holding Command, and there you go. Pretty cool. Something like this. Okay, I want to make like kind of long shadow, as if this light is casting this long shadow on him. And so by manipulating the Command key on the corners, I'm able to just change the perspective. And so yes, that's pretty simple. What else do I want in here? I want to zoom in. So you see his foot here is not reaching, but I don't really want to bring this up. And this one's above the ground, so that's fine. But I want to fix that. So what we're going to do is click on this little warp tool here. So click on that. Now I can take this piece and connect his foot, like so. And this one is connected, which I don't want it to be, so I just kind of disconnect it. I have to bring this guy up a little bit. Oh, that brought the whole thing up. Just without anything else. Just click like this, something like that. I'm gonna have to manually get rid of some of that, but that's fine. Something like this. Okay. All right, and I hit enter, and there we go. Now it's all one color, but let's put a mask on it and hit gradient, and I want to mask out so that's black in front, and so it's black to transparent. And I just click and drag, whoops, undo that, click and drag in this direction. Okay, too angled, a little more this way, nope, a little more this way, a little better. So I'm holding on shift, which keeps a kind of an angle, and maybe this way, yeah, something like this. It's a little too much, a little more. Sometimes it takes a few trial and error. I like that. And I might just bring down the opacity to about 80%, something like this. Okay, but I do want to, I'm going to zoom in here, 200%. I want this to be smaller. There's a few little tweaks I want to do here. So I'm going to do this, I rarely do this, but I'm going to use the eraser tool. So E for eraser, here it is. Let's right click and get a better size here, 40, 70. So same as every brush tool. Control and Alt changes the size and hardness, so this is fine. And I'm going to go ahead and just erase a little bit around here. Oh, I'm at 10%. Make sure that's 100. Let's go ahead and do that again. Something like this. All right. Yeah, I want it to be a little above the ground. And in this bit, I don't really want that in here, so shadow is better like that. Okay, I like that. Zoom out. Not too bad. All right, and then because the light is coming right here, I'd like there to be a slight highlight and maybe a shadow on his body. So this gets a little bit complicated as far as masks within masks, but try to bear with me. I'm going to command click the tiger, and I'm going to go above the tiger, and we're going to make a, let's do a levels, okay? Here's the levels, and I'm going to darken the highlights, darken the midtones, okay? Now, just all it did was, if you can see, if I move it around, is I have this dark shadow. That's the shape of the tiger. I'm gonna do that move. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move it around here, okay? Something like this, okay? And I'm going to go to the mask. So I click on the mask, not on here, which is the levels. Click on the mask, and I say feather it a little bit, maybe a little more, something like that, okay? And now I'm going to group this. So put in a group, Command G. All right, so now this is within a group. We'll call this tiger shading. And I want this, I don't want the shadow to come outside of the tiger because it's supposed to be just on the tiger. So I command click the tiger again and make a mask. Look at that. What I did was, this darkens this area that I moved, and it's now locked within where the tiger is. So that works pretty cool. And now we have this sort of natural highlight up here. We're going to add another one. So I'm going to create a new layer. Just bring that above it. And take a brush tool, very simple. Actually, eyedropper first. Take the color of the light. I want a nice little yellow here. Something like that. Maybe this brighter yellow. Yeah, let's try that. And go to the brush tool. And make sure it's very soft brush. 20, 30 pixels is fine. And let's just go ahead and brush on him. This looks pretty crazy right now, but we'll fix it in a second. I take it down to the tiger, okay? And I hold down the Alt key, which makes it lock it to the tiger only. And then here, let's try soft lights. It's pretty strong. Might do overlay. No, soft light was better. It's very strong, so let's tone this down to about 50%. And maybe that yellow is a little strong. Let's just delete that. Make a new one. New. Let's pick a softer one, softer yellow, and let's already put this in soft light so we can see what we're doing. Soft light, 50%, maybe a little bit bigger, and just kind of go and whoops. I'm gonna add the clipping mask right here, and we just add a little bit here. See what happens. Okay, this is easier. Okay, something like that. All right, maybe a little yellower. Let's change our brush to 50% or 60%. All right, I just want to have a little bit of a warmth coming off from this light, which, yeah, kind of like that. Okay, just a little bit bigger. Bring it up here. All right. So the shadow is definitely darkening it quite a bit. I might go in here and just bring that back a little bit. Maybe a little too strong, but it really helps. Really helps the idea that there's a shadow here. I think it's a little too strong. That I'm going to soften that edge so it's really nice and soft there, like that. It's pretty good. Okay, I like that. Before and after, pretty good. I might have too much yellow on this side, so let's go in here, add a mask, B, black, foreground, and just mask this out a little bit. There you go. That's better. All right, zoom out, and we have our shadow, our shade, our little highlight, and starting to look like something. All right.